Put your hands together. Your hands together, your hands together, your hands together. Oh yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are all welcome to the house of the Lord. All right, we all know what to do before we can have our seats. Welcome someone next to you. Yes. Wonderful. We may be seated. Are you glad to be in the house of the Lord? Are you excited to be here? All right. Any question concerning the healing ministry? Is there something that I said last time that confused you? Would you want me to clarify on something? We are still on that subject today. The healing ministry or the ministry of healing. If you have a question from that, let me hear it. Yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity, Baba. I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry, Baba. My question is more on this. It's been a pending question. I think it was the second series concerning your personal ministry. You said something profound. You said, stay in your lane. So you said something along the lines of you being a prophet and wanting to be called a man of God when God has not called you to be a man of God. So that, in the sense that demons will start attacking you at the level of being a man of God, but you're not a man of God. So for some of us, that area, kwandiri makavarisa zvenyu kuti I don't want, not that I don't want to be a man of God, but you have taken that area for me. What I can do is I enjoy listening and being under you, teach and implementing what you are saying in what I do. So I wanted to ask Kuti, so in that sense, you are saying you can deliver a sermon concerning prosperity, and you have angels which will guide you concerning that area. But if you are not probably a man of God and you take yourself to be a man of God, you are attacked at that level. So let's say I'm a career person. I'm a fireman, for example. Is there a covering that covers me in my career of being a fireman instead of maybe being a doctor? Is there certain things I am protected from in my career? Ndisina kumboita a prayer or anything, but just because it's the path that God has taken me in, is there that grace, that covering that you provide as my man of God that, okay, fine, let's say I'm called on duty and there's a fire somewhere and I didn't pray for it. And when I go there, something terrible was going to happen. But because I'm in an area that God has given to me, your grace provides the covering and the protection in that area. Because in our area, there are certain unexpected things that happen. Let's say maybe someone is in aviation or something, for example. Can that person, let's say he's flying through a thunderstorm or something like that, unexpectedly, the weather radar didn't pick it up, and you're in a thunderstorm, or clear air turbulence, I can say, is there such provision that you prophesy to me, let's say you're going to be a doctor and I am covered in that area. Is there such grace for covering in my career like that?
Niti.
Okay, okay.
My question is, pane testimony abva kushiwa just now.
Someone had just asked a question here. But anyway, I'll try to remember your question. Please, let's for now, let's stick to the healing ministry. If that's okay. If I have a bit of time to spare afterwards, I'll try to come back to that question because it's very important. Please, I'll try to come back to that one. I'll try by all means because it is very, very, very important. Why? It deals with certain specific areas of assignment where you need to, so I'm not going to get into that as of now. Let's try and stick to the ministry of healing. But if there is no question along that area, then I can quickly come back to this one and answer it right away. Do you have a question?
Yes.
It's to do with the ministry of healing.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Baba. Pane testimony abva kushiwa just now.
There's a testimony that was just shared,
Wanga uchitaura about healing a wounded soul.
and they were talking about the healing of a wounded soul.
How does one heal kana akakuvara in his or her own soul so that one can recover? Because just now it's like a wounded animal. Ndikaprovokwa, Baba, I can burst it anytime.
If I'm to be provoked, I can burst at any time.
So how does one heal kana akakuvara?
If you are wounded
Yes.
in your soul.
Okay. All right. Remember, we have a scripture reference to that. And we are aware of the ability of the shepherd to restore a soul, right? He restores my soul. Now, if God is to heal you from an emotional disease, it means that your soul is sick, because your soul is basically your emotions. So if your soul is sick, you are going to know that I'm sick emotionally, I'm sick in my soul with the way that you relate emotionally. You wait, you search for those indications in the way you relate, in the way you react, in the way you respond to situations. That's how you know that I'm hurt, that I'm sick, that I'm wounded, that I'm bleeding. Now, I'm not sure how you would want me to address that question, whether do you want to know how to recover from a wounded soul or how to heal a wounded soul?
I want to be healed.
You want to be healed?
Yes.
And then go on to
Reco-
heal other people?
Yes.
Okay,
Because
so-
ndikukwadza vari around me, especially my children.
Because I'm
Ndikupedzera
hurting the
hasha
people
kuvana,
around me,
Baba.
especially
I
my
want to
children.
be healed.
Okay. All right. We are all aware that it's very, very difficult for most people to recover from their past experiences. It's difficult. It's hard. And it's a journey. And all of us here today, we are products of previous activities. We are coming from different experiences. And we carry those experiences with us. And we act in the present according to that past. You act in the present according to that history. You act today according to yesterday. You react, you respond, you answer according to that history. If you are carrying some wounds from the past, there is completely no way that I can help you and heal you and deliver you from the past. Like I said before, it's difficult, and people usually say, like I said, there is nothing you can do about the history. You cannot alter your history. And I came here and I said, the only history that you can deal with is the part of history that has chosen to become your what? Your present. Which means the history that has followed you from history into your present. And you start manifesting that history in your present. So that's the only history that you can do nothing about. If the history stays in history, you can't change it. But if your history follows you, and you have things that have happened in your past still affecting you in your present, it's the part of history that you can alter. The history that doesn't want to be altered and to be changed, it has to stay in history. I hope you are following that part. So history can be changed. And the only history that you can change is the history that stays, that comes where? Into your present. If it stays in history, you can't do anything about it. So we can see some of those experiences that we have had in the past taking effect in our daily lives. And you know that I'm reacting this way because of an event that once happened. Someone hurt you, and you don't need that same person to come today and agitate you. You need, even children can cause you to react according to the trauma that was caused by an individual. And the rest of the people are coming just to get a harvest of what they never sowed into your life. It could have been one man, and yet the entire family can suffer because of one man who opened up a wound. So what needs to be done is we need to take seriously the leadership of the Holy Spirit when it comes to the healing of the soul. Yes. I have to be able to help you come to a place, first of all, of forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is a virtue. Forgiveness is a name given to power. Forgiveness is strength, it's not a weakness. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is not just an easy way of getting rid of conflict. Forgiveness, it is a demonstration of strength, demonstration of power. And when you start to focus on forgiveness, you don't practice forgiveness by forgiving other people, you start with yourself. That's how you know that I'm now ready to forgive the rest of the people. You make use of that virtue on yourself. You are the first person who needs to be forgiven by you. If you cannot cross that immediate bridge, the rest of the bridges you can't cross. It will be difficult for you to forgive the people that have brought you hurt. You start with yourself. Have you forgiven yourself first? Because there are instances where you even blame yourself. I'm addressing not just here, but everyone here who is hurt emotionally. Have you been able to forgive yourself? Because what the devil does is, if you were hurt growing up, if you were abused growing up, the devil always finds a way of blaming you some way. It was your fault. It was your fault. It was your fault. It was your fault. And you say, maybe there's something wrong with me. This is why I got exposed to that. There's something wrong with me. 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 And yet there is something wrong with the one that abused you, not you. You were simply a victim, but the devil will always find a way of putting you into that mess and show you where you contributed towards your own hurt. So that is going to help you stay longer in that affliction. If the devil can get you to blame yourself on things that you never did, on the things that you did, yes, you have to learn to blame yourself, take responsibility so that you can change the situation. But where you know that you had no power over those circumstances, probably you were very young. There is nothing that you could have done as a little girl. There is nothing. You were at the mercy of the people around you, and there is nothing. It's known biologically. There is nothing that a child can do in the hands of an abuser. You can, few things that you can do, but you might have done those few things, but it didn't help. So there must be a moment where you exempt yourself, you exclude yourself from that activity, and you know that I was never wrong, but he was wrong. It was not my fault. It was his fault. Okay? And understand that there is nothing that I could have done. You might say, maybe I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, or maybe at the right time, but I was at the wrong place. But you were still a child. Child not in terms of just age, probably in terms of your understanding. You were not aware of the danger in that environment, and you stayed there for too long. You hanged around dangerous people and evil people with very bad intentions. And you had no capacity mentally to discern their intentions. And consequently, you got hurt. Still, you have to treat yourself as a child, as a baby. I was still young. I was still young in terms of my understanding. But still, you must forgive yourself. Even if you were wrong, still, you are also a beneficiary of your own forgiveness. You have to benefit from your own forgiveness. Forgive yourself first. And what you need to do next is to forgive those people that have hurt you. Forgive them. I know it's not easy, but you are doing this, like I said before, you are doing this for yourself and not even for them. Forgiveness helps you, not necessarily the people that you forgive. It helps you more. It helps you more. And I remember telling you this, that the reason why sometimes forgiveness is very, very hard, it's coming from an idea that you are doing those people that you are forgiving a favor. That is what makes it hard. They have hurt me and I have to forgive them. I'm giving them more favor. No, it can't be. No. And yet, forgiving them, you are doing yourself a what? A favor. So for you to recover, you have to look at people that you're supposed to forgive before you can recover from any emotional hurt. Who am I supposed to forgive? The pain is stemming from an individual who might have abused you, misused you. Where is it radiating from, like we dealt with last Sunday? Who caused you pain? So if you're going to recover, you have to recover first of all from that place. That individual is the source of your pain. So the healing has to extend that far. That far. We have to find spiritual ways of taking people even back. I know I didn't want to say this part because it's difficult for most people to practice. Taking a person back to that place where he got converted, even his sexual desires got altered. And we correct it from there, and we bring you back into your present. And you realize that you've been delivered from different sexual appetites. There is that anointing available in the kingdom of God, where a person can be restored. You restore my soul. Restoration of the soul. It's going to be so challenging. You have to consider that your number one project, taking care of your soul, being able to restrain your soul, being able to control your emotions. Now, if I'm to bring a person here who is sick and I minister healing to the sick and the sick recovers, and you see that as power, and you desire to have that same power, and you pray, you ask God for that power, what you are likely never going to understand or to know is the power behind that power that you see. There is power behind that power that you see. Yet it is that power that you see that you ask God for. But yet there is power before that power. That power is a product of power. Okay. Yes, there is always hidden, the source is always hidden. What you see is the manifestation. That power is coming from another power. The power to heal the sick is coming from another power. Now, the power before that deals with let's say some of you, you might have had thoughts. We're dealing with emotions, right? You might have had thoughts that when you then consider such kind of a thought, you really wonder, am I really born again? And you really wonder, what kind of a son am I? How can I have such a father and be thinking like this? Now, so you are suggesting that your father doesn't think like that. I don't know who told you that your father doesn't think like that. The difference between you and I is on execution. You do everything that you think of doing. And I've mastered restraint. That's where the difference is. I like the things you like. I'm trying to show you power before power. Okay? So the power that I have over my character is not on not thinking the things that you think. I've been able to exercise self-control. So the power that God gave to me, I had to use it on myself first and foremost, before inviting an individual here and exercising that power over his or her situation. So it means I've been healing myself throughout the day, throughout the week, demonstrating the power of restraint, controlling my emotions, so that I don't get angry unless I decide. I have to decide. So if you see me angry, I'm not saying I'm not never going to be angry. I'm simply saying I will never be angry without my permission. I have to sit and agree to that tomorrow morning around 8:30 in the morning. So you can postpone that anger. And throughout scriptures, you see God postponing his wrath to a later date. That's management of your soul, management your emotions. God himself has that. God himself has a soul. There is nothing that he could put into you in trying to have you look like him unless he had it. He had it. So that's real power now. Not this one that you see probably raising the dead or healing the sick. That power has to emanate from this power that I'm explaining. So the difference, this one, if you want it, you can have it in a split of a second. The power to heal the sick. And you move around healing the sick, and yet you yourself, you have a condition that you cannot address. Why are you sick and yet you can heal other people? It means you have not been able to channel. I know the gift that God might give you might not be for you. But if you know how to benefit from your own gift, you can benefit from your own gift. You can. Just that most gifted people don't know how. That's why then you require another friend, a brother who is gifted to come and also heal you whilst you are healing others. But there's a level of understanding that you get to, and you know how to administer, and you benefit from your own giftings, and you become better because God has given you a gift for other people, yet you can also benefit from that same gift. But what I'm saying is, when I say I'm demonstrating God's power, what you wait to see is the move of God, God touching other people externally. But the way that I control myself is a demonstration of God's power that is in me. Exercising that on a daily basis. I don't want to be caught up in a situation and then I have no idea how I got there. I want to be in control of my mind, in control of my thinking. No devil will ever get me to do the things that I don't agree to. I must exercise, consider that a demonstration of power. You are demonstrating power when you control your emotions. You are demonstrating power. Controlling anger. Anger. My sister, if you can control your anger, remember, it's your anger. You have it. It doesn't have you. You have it. You have it. If you call it my anger, you have to exercise dominion over what is yours. Power over what is yours. Don't call it my anger if you can't control it. But the problem is we end up wanting to blame people for the way that we react. It is because of him. It is because of her. But the moment you forgive those people disappear. So you no longer have a source. You no longer have a justification for your reactions today. Once you've forgiven those people, they are now non-existent. So you cannot act a certain way today and then find a person to blame if you have truly forgiven that person. Once you have forgiven, that person disappears from the picture. He is no longer the source of your anger today. So once you have eliminated the source, you can't have then anger emanating out of nowhere. You have taken away its source. You have killed the generator at Kariba. So you cannot expect to experience electricity here. You have gone to the source, and by forgiving the source, you have eliminated the source. So you can't have a justification. You can't say, I'm angry today because of my father. Are you following? He's no longer there. One thing that you know can never happen is you cannot squeeze an orange and have apple juice coming out. No matter how you squeeze it. If it's an orange, it has to be orange juice that comes out. If you squeeze an orange juice and apple juice comes out, and then the orange would want to blame the one squeezing. You squeezed me in a certain way. You pushed me. It was never in me. I'm not a fighter. I don't enjoy beating up people, but I end up beating you up because you have a way of squeezing me. No. If you were an orange, no matter how you get squeezed, it has to be orange juice. I'm saying this because we want to blame people for what comes out of us. It's always what was in there that comes out when you get what? Squeezed. It's just that you didn't know that you had that anger already in you. It's not the people who brought it. You had it. These people have been sent to help you realize what you carry. Whatever they do, these people, what they they are just working as catalysts. They see you probably at the age of 20, at the age of 30, they say, this young girl doesn't even know what she carries. She has capacity to insult everyone in the village. But she just doesn't know. She carries that kind of juice in her. So what they do is to provoke you to bring out what was already inside of you. Inside of you. So your prayer is not to only withhold the juices from coming out. You have to become the right fruit so that when you get squeezed, what comes out of you is goodness. Squeezed. Prophet kudaro zvenyu, but uyu zvaanokuitisa uyu.
Prophet, you might be saying that, but the way this one provokes you,
and to be able to convince you that you are that person after you have done it, it's difficult even for you, because I'm not that kind of a character.
because you'll be saying that I'm not that type of.
And it's far from me, and but
It never even occurs
she
to me
has
to
a
do
way
that.
of causing me to do that. He has a way of causing me to do wrong things. No. We have agreed here, it doesn't matter how you squeeze an orange. You use hands, you use your feet. What comes out is orange juice. So if you are to look into that manifestation critically, you might have to go back to people who squeezed you and appreciate them for helping you see. I didn't know. Had you not provoked me to that extent, oh my God. Oh. Oh. Here's the question. If you think what happened to you growing up justifies the condition of your soul today, why is it that you have people who have had worse things happening to them, more terrible things happening to them growing up, and yet today they are happier than you? You meet them, there is no evil juice coming out of their communication. Yet they had much more terrible experiences growing up. If you start to look into other people, analyze their experiences, and you see they have a better life than yours, then you have to be honest now to say, if I'm to faint on the day of adversity, then my strength is small. It means it's not even my experience.
Proverbs 24:10.
Don't worry. It's not even my experience. Somebody had that experience, but if you talk to him today, you can't see the head. So where's the difference? The power, this primary power that helps you manage the reactions of your soul, your emotions, that's the power that people should seek. When they come here and they see me demonstrating power, healing the sick, that's the power they look for. That's the power they look for. And yet that one, you can get it, we can lay hands on you from that place. You can go and start healing the sick. It's very easy. And that power is so cheap. But the primary power is where you can demonstrate that power against your own emotions. If you say that it was because of my mother that I'm in this current emotional state, is it also not because your mother was your mother? Is it also not because your mother did well by giving birth to you, hence she's your mother? Already these are good things that she did. And you are most likely going to be hurt by people who were good to you at some point. Another woman can come and say the same things to you. It's not going to matter, because she's just another woman. You are likely to be hurt by people that love you, that you love. Everyone else is not important. But there are people who are, there's a percentage of goodness in them. And you overlook all that simply because of one experience. It's most likely the people that have hurt you are people that used to love you, that used to be around you, that used to care for you. If they say anything or do anything, that is likely going to hurt you than somebody that you just met and then he disappears. Even if he says the same things, he's not going to hurt you, he's not going to harm you. Now, so what you need to understand now is, now that I've forgiven myself, you tell yourself that I've forgiven you. And then you go on to forgive people because you consider them as sources of your emotional hurt. It was because of my brother, it was because of my sister, it was because of my mother, my uncle, my grandmother, whoever that person was. You have to pay them a visit. Don't say, she's no longer there, she's dead. If she's causing you to react the way you're reacting today, she's there, she's still there. You have to go back to that place of hurt and correct the situation. If she told you that you are a nobody, you go back to that place and you start to verify, am I really a nobody? And discover that, yes, she said that, but she was wrong. And everyone is allowed to be wrong. Yes. I needed to go through this for me to be where I am today. Whether the things were good or bad, Joseph came to that conclusion and said, no, it was through you, through your jealousy, that God had to bring me to this place. You needed to betray me like you betrayed me. There was need for that level of jealousy to get to a point where you can sell your own brother. See, they've squeezed the orange. And what is coming out of Joseph is what? Orange. Despite the way they squeezed his emotions. He's comforting them, don't worry. It was the hand of God. He's putting them aside. He's saying, no, there is God in that activity.
Genesis 45 verse 5. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that you sold me hither. For God did send me before you to preserve life.
God sent me. Look at the way he came. He sent me to come here and preserve lives. They are hearing it for the first time that their brother was called by God. And they participated in bringing their brother to the fruition of that calling. They thought it was jealousy. Today we are here, we have a ministry simply because there was a document. There was a constitutional amendment that I could have considered persecution. Had it not been for the document, we were never going to be here today. That is why I cannot look back and find one enemy of mine in the Apostolic Faith Mission. They are all my fathers. We are in good books today. We love each other. Because there is no persecution there. No persecution. I was not aware of my timing. I'd overstayed. I told you this. Jesus had given 12 disciples a mandate to go into all the world and preach. And they focused only on Jerusalem. God has said, into the whole world. I don't know how they were able to preach to the whole world in Jerusalem. There was no internet. The instruction was entire world. And they all gathered, some in Samaria and so on. God said, okay, let me bring what? Persecution. And as they were fleeing persecution, they went to other nations, carrying the gospel. So they needed to be persecuted for the gospel to cross the borders of Jerusalem into other parts of the world. Persecution was a what? A requirement. So when you see that, you simply have to forgive the people that persecuted you and start appreciating them for what they did. So you might be bleeding today, but you're saying, why did God allow this to happen to me? What if there is a demonstration? God wants me to demonstrate to other ladies, to other women, that you can be treated like this and still live a sober life. Yes. Probably that is my message. Maybe that's my gospel. I have to be a living example that any woman can survive what I survived. It's a message not given to you by God to preach. You are that message given to the people. So when they see you smiling today, and they can look into your history and what you've experienced, and they see you joyful, that becomes a gospel, a message that no matter what you go through, you can still live a happy life. Are we together so far? So my sister, go on. Next time when you look at your kids, love them. When you feel angry, do the opposite. Come here, girl. Give that little girl a hug.
Thank you, Baba.
And you kiss your children. Do something against what you are feeling. Do the opposite. You know you want to react, you want to respond. You know you want to fight back, you want to attack, you want to undermine somebody, whether it's your husband, you want to give him one word. That lacks grace. Give it a moment and you say, what if I'm to do the opposite? You feel the pressure. That's where you understand that power is greater than this one. When you know I have to show him, he needs to know, and then you do the opposite. My sister, that's power now. My God. If you can see yourself practicing that, I'm telling you, you need to throw a party for yourself. You are a champion now. A man who can control his soul, his emotions. You have achieved a level of perfection. It's a level of perfection. Where you know what can be said to hurt somebody, and you keep it back. You look into your tools box, you have every utensil. You know I have the capacity to finish this guy. And you decide. What did Jesus say? Forgive them. What had he seen? He had seen his father opening the tools box. Windows were opening in the heavens, and Jesus knew the type of angels that were about to descend. Jesus knew. He had enough backup, but what he was controlling is his soul. Let's forgive them. Let's forgive them. Let's forgive them. Let's forgive them. So while you are beating up your children, you are becoming angry, you are justifying that because you are saying, this is what happened to me, and they are going to grow up, and you are going to become their source of anger again. So you have prolonged a generational curse. They will never they will not talk about your mother. They will not talk about somebody who hurt you. They will talk about you. If you don't want that to happen, okay, even the person that also hurt you, it's because he was also what? Hurt. So it's a button stick that you keep on heading over to the next person. But when it gets to you, you say, no, this thing has to stop here. I will not pass on this anger. Let not my children say we suffered abuse in the hands of our mother. They will not talk about their mother's mother. They will talk about their mother. Just like you can't talk of your mother's mother, you talk about your mother. So you say, okay, the river was flowing, but it has to stop here. Let's build a dam wall. And that you become a reservoir of anger. There are things that you know to do and you say, I'm not going to do that. I know you have squeezed me and you want a certain type of juice to come, but what I will give you is what? Orange juice. Give them orange juice. Tell your neighbor, give them mazoe. Mazoe. All right, it's okay. Let's move on to the next question.
Father, on the same issue, I just didn't want to interrupt the flow, but she was confirming every word. In as much as you said you were generalizing for everyone, every word, it was very prophetic, and it was pointing to her life.
It's all right.
Then the second thing, Father.
Be seated, please. Be seated.
For all of us, I would say, in as much as my sister asked this question, but this was so profound to a lot of our lives. Father, you did not only heal us, but you imparted a profound spirit of healing inside of us. Father, this ability you have given us makes this day and this morning a great day and a great morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba.
Another question on healing, the
My
ministry of
question-
healing.
My
Okay, go
question
ahead.
is on healing.
Yes.
So you taught us last week that it's our mandate as believers to heal. It's not for pastors, it's not for prophets or evangelists,
And
but
it's not-
us
it's
as
not
believers.
for men of God. Yes, it's not for men of God also. I'm talking to the pilot here. Go ahead.
So now what scares me sometimes when I want to carry out that assignment is the case of the sons of Sceva. I don't know if it's relevant to healing, but they were attacked for carrying out that believer's assignment. So I don't know if as a believer there is
That's interesting, right? Okay.
I don't know if it's a point in a believer's life that I'm supposed to carry out that assignment or I just carry it out anyhow. Because you talked about someone who was attacked by Rishiri. And men of God came to deliver that person and they couldn't. But you just went there and you delivered that person. So I want to know, is it a point in time as a believer that you can be able to carry out that assignment? Because these were men of God, like you said, they were renowned, they were prominent, but they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I want to know, Baba, is it the language that they used, or is it that they didn't have enough power to do it? And how can I attain that power? If it is power, and the language, if it is the language, I don't know, because I want to be secure after praying for someone. I don't want to get attacked.
You want to say something?
Acts 19:13.
Or X9? Ah, okay. I
Sons
don't-
of Sceva.
Yeah. That one, these guys got beaten up because they were the sons of Sceva, not the sons of Paul. They were the sons of Sceva. And they made reference to the Jesus that Paul preaches. They made the reference to a man who was not their source, who was not their father. They were the sons of Sceva. Had never exercised this kind of grace. So without acknowledging Paul, without sitting under Paul, without having received an impartation from him, why did they? Okay, if Sceva also was a man of God, he was a priest, for your own information. But why did they say Jesus, who Paul preaches, not our father, Sceva?
Then certain of the vagabond Jews exorcists took upon them to call over them, which had evil spirits, the name of the Lord Jesus, saying, we adjure you by Jesus whom Paul preaches. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so.
Chief of the what?
Of the priests.
So what was he preaching? If his own children cannot make reference to the Jesus they to find a Jesus that Paul preaches. How do you skip your immediate father? So that's the reason you are not a daughter of Sceva. So if you are going to be exercising that gift, you have seen it being exercised here. You are connected to the right place where these things happen naturally. So that's the security that you have already. Huh? Yes. Because you see, it's so strange. Jesus, who Paul preaches, what does your father preach? And for your own information, that was not really wrong, saying what they said. What was wrong is saying it before submission. They needed to, since you have discovered that Paul has a better Jesus than your biological father, you should have sought different fatherhood. So that you are no longer called the sons of Sceva. You see, the Bible is so generous. Still, they are being called exorcists, the ones that cast out evil spirits. Yet they never. they were the ones who got casted out. So you are going to need, yes, a very, very strong connection, and that becomes your guard. The strong connection, you must be linked to a very powerful source. If someone goes to a witch doctor with your name, and that witch doctor is a real witch doctor, I'm not saying, I don't want to put you in that picture where they say because you are connected to us here. No. Even if you had gone to also your own witch doctor, more powerful than this one must acknowledge that he cannot do anything to you because your connection is stronger than his. It's so biblical. That's why Balaam could not cast a curse over Israel. What he discovered was a very strong membrane. There was a connection between Israel and God that you could not pronounce a curse over Israel. And he said, I would rather spare my bullets here. I can't shoot at these people. There is no enchantment. There is no witchcraft against
23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob.
The reason is the connection. Are you following me? So that witch doctor must first of all verify before launching a missile against you. Kuti munhu wandaudzwa uyu wandapiwa picture yake uyo kunzi ndivhiringidzi.
That this person whose picture I've been given so that I can attack them.
Ane ma-connections akamira sei?
What kind of connections do they have
Mumweya.
in the spirit?
Haufaniri kungotumira chitundumusere chozodzoka wozoziva later kuti you were wrong. No.
You shouldn't just
You are not
deploy
practicing
heavy
your medicines well. You have to know before launching an attack. Woto assessor prophetically, even as a witch doctor, kuti munhu wandaroya.
And then you have to know that the person that I've bewitched
Either hana connection today,
is either not connected
or
to
he
them,
is never going to join a wrong ministry. You must be prophetic as a witch doctor, knowing, yes, he is weak today, but you must be powerful enough to influence him to not choose the right church. that will then cause everything that you have done today to backfire. So you must also be a prophetic witch. To look into the present of that person, to know he has no connections as of today. But also, you must be powerful enough to influence him, to advise him on which church to never join. So there are people who they don't find this ministry favorable, and they think it's them. Because look at our ministry. Why would you hate such a ministry? For what reason? For what scandal? Scandal ipi?
Which scandal?
It goes to show there is something that was put in people and it needed to be secured by make sure they don't go to wrong places, wrong ministries, and establish wrong connections which are good for them. Are you following me? Yes. So you should not be afraid of that, because if the witch doctor is a true witch doctor, then you must be comfortable. Now, I'll tell you where I derive my confidence from. Remember, some time back I used to say, if you want to challenge, you can come. Let's show each other. If you are really a witch doctor and you are strong, come, let's see. Now, where am I deriving that confidence from? It's coming from two places. Why am I not afraid that if a witch doctor comes out who is more powerful than me, I'm going to be embarrassed? Why am I not afraid of that? Because if your statistics are wrong and you haven't conducted your census very well, you are not aware of it. Am I saying there are no true evil witch doctors? True. They are there. But how come I'm not afraid if he is to come out? I'm so sure that if he is a true witch, he will not come out. If he comes out, he's fake. If he's a proper witch, he would be advised not to try that. So, yes, I'm just... So if he comes out, I know this one is illiterate. This one is ill-informed. This guy, if he was really connected, if he had power, he would have been warned never to try me. So the mere fact that he's coming to challenge me, I will know he's fake. And I know how to deal with such. Because when it comes to power, you people, you have to look into some of these issues. You can accuse me of anything else. Don't make a mistake of accusing me for not having power. In that area, say whatever. Say, oh my God. Oh. Sit down, please. We are talking of the sons of Sceva here, and Jesus whom Paul preaches. I'm not trying to stop people from making accusations. If you are smart, I would understand you if you doubt whether the power is of God or not. I would tolerate that. But if you insist on saying that I don't have power, you have a lot of things to explain. I would want to know your understanding of power, your definition of power. Do you really know what power is? Do you know what do you call power? If it's not here, you have a chance not to only define it by way of speech. You show me. Let me see it, so that I know that what I had was never power. The kingdom is not in a word. It's not in a word. So, how can someone think that I don't have it, and yet that's my biggest struggle, containing it, controlling it? Do you think I'm asking God for power? People, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Please be seated. Why am I saying all this? You might think it has nothing to do with the question. I'm trying to show her connection. I'm already answering the question. You are not a daughter of Skiv. But why is it that people can have revelations of some other people? For instance, if a person says that I have a demon, I have an evil spirit, that revelation is good. It has to result into deliverance. Especially if I'm to come out and be honest and say, maybe I need help. Yes. Because for years, if you keep saying, he has a demon, 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 yes, he is a wizard, he's a wizard. And then the wizard comes out and he says, probably you are right. The argument should not then end there. Something could have happened to me. Maybe I was young, maybe I was... That could be a word from God. So I need help. Why would God give you such a revelation that you cannot execute? God must have also given you the power. Because if I were you, like I do, if I tell you that you are a witch, I will prove it not in 24 hours. I need 5 seconds. I will not accuse you of anything that I cannot let you prove. It will be your responsibility to prove that this man is telling the truth. It will be you busy proving to the whole world that this man is not lying. I'm really a witch. So you see, it's a revelation given to me, accompanied with power to confirm it. They went, the disciples went, they were preaching and they were doing signs and miracles were following to confirm the what? The word. Whether it's an accusation, it has to be confirmed by power. If I tell you you're a prostitute and you say, I'm not, you will start chasing men right away. So you cannot sue me for such an utterance. Because going to court, you have presented yourself before the courts as the evidence. You will become the evidence. It will be up to you to prove that I never lied. So I'm saying this to say, if it's true that I have an evil spirit, please help me. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Help. If you can't come here because you feel maybe it's you can't go to that place because that place is a shrine. He has to come out. It means also there is something here much more powerful than you that you can't handle. You can't be afraid of a shrine. If you desire a private place, but I guarantee you it will not be private. It has to be recorded. I will hand over my little head and let you touch it. Because if it's a demon, you as a child of God, you have to be more powerful. You have to be more powerful. I'll present a very thin body. No muscles at all. You forget your mother's name. They will ask you, how many children do you have? And you say, I'm not married. Because I know where the valve is. I know what happens to my spiritual existence when I'm under threat. I know. So someone might say, iye wacho ngauye kunwa ndidzingo rangu ndakamboti unaro.
Let him also come here and exorcise me of my demons, but I never said you had one.
Have you ever seen me stooping that low? Once I touch on a spirit, I have authority over it. If I say you have it, and you say you don't, I can prove you wrong at any time. Anytime. Anytime. I'm saying this, and I'm not a person who sends out threats. No. But I'm just, because our sister here wants to know, am I safe? She wants to know. I asked without this, she's we after.
She doesn't want to be tormented by goblins and evil spirits afterwards.
That's kuno ndomzinda wepower.
This is the facility of power.
Why? You should not be afraid of evil practitioners.
Let me ask you a question.
Imi,
You,
How many witches do we have in Africa? What do you think when you see some of them at a polling station trying to vote an individual out? The witches trying to get rid of an individual through a ballot. Witches. You. Not a man of God. If they are tired of a leader, they try democratic means to vote him out. A witch that you are afraid of. A witch that you think can eliminate you. They are trying to vote someone. If you were there prophetic enough, taking account numbering witches that are trying to come and vote, it means they've tried every other method. Why would you try to vote out?
I'm just giving you a clear example.
And they try to vote out an individual, and that individual goes back into power. And he continues. In the presence of how many witches? And you come, you connect to a source like this, and you're afraid of a witch? Sit down. So they go back home and they hear through radios that that man that you voted out has gone back into power. And their charms cannot do anything about it. And you're afraid of such a group of people? Am I saying there are no witches? I'm just saying, no. You have overestimated their power. We are better, we are above. We are much more stronger. Are you learning something? Yes. Yes. So it is because of that fear that these people will mess you up. It's because of fear. That is why most witches, before they bewitch you, they warn you. What are they sending? Fear. And once you are afraid, Job said, that which I feared has befallen me. Fear comes to remove the hedge. Fear tempers with the protection. So their little charm will begin to work now. He will not say, I'm coming after you, unless he has tried before. So he tries and he sees, the man is fortified. He tries again, the woman is fortified. And she comes back with words. Wow. And when you start to live under fear, the fear is going to dissolve the Jura wall. Because now you're afraid. So they don't go and look for a more powerful charm. No, they lower your standards. They lower your guard, your security. And when you are now afraid, they can engage you no longer as a child of God. You are no longer a child of God. No, you're no longer a child of God. You are a daughter of fear. You are a product of fear. Jesus said to them, you are lying because your father is a liar. So they start coming after you. You can see them in the night coming through windows, and everyone else can see that. And you end up thinking these people are really powerful. No, you have lowered your standard. You can choose. I've told you this several times, please. Child of God, you can have a car that can drive at 200 kilometers an hour and still choose to drive it at 20 kilometers an hour. And people are wondering, what's wrong with this guy? He's blocking all of us here. Yet your vehicle, you have the maximum capacity, but you have deliberately chosen to live a life at 20% capacity, below your maximum capacity. And the only time we are 20%.
That's the only time witches will bewitch you.
Not because God has not given you 200 maximum speed, but because of compromise. You have chosen to live a substandard life. So if they come to you at what least you are functioning at that level, that's when they overtake you. Even a car that that cannot go beyond 180 kilometers an hour, you see it, and you think that vehicle is the strongest, the most powerful. No, you have chosen to underperform. The power of God in us was measured against any adversary. It was measured against every demon available. It's beyond. It's beyond. I've given them how many pictures by putting up posters. I've been putting posters ever since I started ministry,
You're actually
making
afraid.
my pictures accessible. Are you following this? Don't be afraid, because there is nothing to fear. Some of you, when you see somebody with too much confidence, you call it arrogance. You mustn't be that confident. You can't be too sure. These are spiritual things. What are we? What are we? We are more sure of that because we are spirits. We are spirits. So I can't see myself at any given moment. I'm sick because of a witch. I'm dead and you come and you bury me because of a witch. A charm. What kind of a charm is that? What kind of a charm is that? If the devil himself is so worried, he's scratching his head every now and then, what can I do to this guy? If the devil himself, he is the headmaster. If he's worried, he has run out of options. And you think another go can invent something from the village. Why are you afraid? So when you're casting out those demons, spiritually, not physically, have your hands in the pocket. You say to an evil spirit, go. There is no option. That's not a negotiation. What starts to happen from there is going.
It's just go.
I said this before, when Jesus says to them, follow me and I will make you, you have to follow him. It means when he walks on water, you have to follow.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. The day Jesus walked on water and they did not follow, they stopped following him. You see him casting out demons. You cast out demons. Don't be afraid it's going to backfire. Am I saying it will never backfire? I'm saying you are a different species. There are people who should not attempt that. Why? They belong to a different lineage. They are the sons of
Scale.
Sceva. Your connection is very, very important. So sometimes it's also in the way that you administer deliverance. If you're going to be hurt, you might be hurt physically. Physically. This is why we have to be trained on how to conduct deliverances. These people that you're trying to deliver might end up hurting you, not because you are weak. Because remember, your strength is also spiritual, first and foremost. So in trying to protect themselves, they're trying to protect themselves, and in the process, they might hurt you. So you need to be trained. Just like there was the school of the sons of prophets. You need to be trained. If you need training on how to prophesy, you also need training on how to deliver the captives. There is a method. There is a way. Because you will always anger, you will always agitate evil spirits. They feel irritated around you. They will try to push you back. And you might think, if you keep this story in your head, it means or
So if a demon attacks me, then it means I'm a son of Sceva.
some they get beaten up because they've crossed the lines, like he was asking. They've trespassed, entered into territories where they are not trained, they are not designed to be active in such territories, and they go there. Demons will beat them up to notify them that you have trespassed. And number two, even if you are doing your job, you can be a doctor. If you handle patients carelessly, not wearing gloves and so on, your blood can be contaminated. You can end up having the disease that you are trying to cure, because you lack training. It doesn't mean you are weak. It doesn't mean you are not supposed to be a doctor. You're supposed to be an engineer, or you're supposed to be doing plumbing. No, you are supposed to be a doctor. But you lack training on how you protect yourself from contaminations. Training. So sometimes in delivering people, even though you have power, demons can actually beat you up. And people will think it's because you are weak, and yet demons are seeing you as the only threat in the room.
Those that are not being beaten will actually assume it's because that they are powerful. I'm giving you another version so that you don't lose heart.
You are the only threat in that room. And when a snake feels threatened, it bites. So probably heat, most of the heat might actually be coming from you. So the demon will try to physically extinguish your heat. So they will come after you. Then
you'll assume that it's good for you to leave deliverance.
No. You're talking of the firefighters. They have their own attire. They know what to put on, so that in the process of trying to retrieve people from danger, they are not themselves affected by the same fire. Saka ama notes munofanira kuchuya mugara pasi moti inini I'm into delivering people
So these are notes that you need to now come and
from
take,
evil spirits.
where you say, I'm a deliverer,
Then tokupa uniform.
and then we give you the uniform.
Visual.
Is that right?
And we tell you this is how you deliver people from evil spirits. And the person will be free, and you will also be free. You will not be a victim of your occupation. Because now you have gotten proper mentorship. You had the gift to deliver, but now we need to mentor that gift, train that gift. And we teach you how to conduct deliverance. Are you following this? Yes. So I needed to also infuse that part so that you don't get discouraged should you experience any fight back, any retaliation, any backlash, that you should not start to wonder, am I in the right lane? You might actually be fought because you are where you belong, and the devil wants you to quit that area. So it might not mean that you are a son of Sceva, a daughter of Sceva, but probably you just lack training. Go to Paul and sit under him, and he will teach you why demons are not fighting him back. That's the information that you can only get not from Sceva, you have to get it from Paul. Go sit under him, and he will train you well. So anyone can do that, all of us can heal, but proper way of doing it, you have to be licensed. Yes, all of us have got access to knives and scissors, but you are not allowed to conduct a procedure on a patient. Whether you know how to do it, you can Google. My wife is going through this terrible experience, and you Google how do you deal, and then you take a knife from the kitchen. It's considered murder. If she's to die in the process, you have killed. Why? Because you are undertrained. You are not informed. Yet there is a man who has been certified. If he is to kill, according to them, it's not murder. He is licensed. And no doctor will ever feel guilty in trying to help a patient, and in the process, the patient dies. Some people, they come walking so well, and the doctor sees something terrible, we have to remove this, and in the process, a person dies. Still, a proper doctor should not feel bad. Yes, they feel bad, but they should not quit their career. Because you are where you belong. I was talking to a certain pastor, I'm not going to mention his name, I don't want to put people in trouble, especially in this church. So he was talking about what he had from his father. His father was touching on something, he's an elderly man, so he was dealing with the issue of submission and loyalty, talking to this pastor of ours. And his father said something about a soldier. And his father said, no proper soldier who has gone to war and he has killed a person should ever feel bad for killing an enemy. It should not be something, if you are a proper soldier, that's your job, and it's not sin. And the moment you begin to feel guilty for having killed a man during war, it's a sign of rebellion. You are likely a rebel. You think you're being merciful, you think you have a good heart, it's a sign. Because the order that you got from your seniors must have kept you, must protect your conscience. I'm talking of not killing, I'm talking of feeling bad. Oh my God. If things go wrong whilst you are within your lane, it's part and parcel of your assignment. Don't be quick to think that I think I don't belong here. Even if you are put where you belong, you still have challenges there. Yes. Even if God gives you the best husband, you still have challenges. If he gives you the best woman, say, God, and I'm tired and don't want to do.
Why don't you pick a wife for me? I'm tired of trying.
You still have problems with that woman that God chooses for you. You still have problems. Until God comes himself, okay, let's have a marriage between the two of us like we have now. You still have problems with God. There are things about God that you don't understand. Even if you are where you belong, you still have challenges. But don't misinterpret certain backlashes and you feel, so I should stop healing people because after healing people I get sick. It simply means you lack training. You are not putting on the right uniform. There is a way of protecting yourself from the things that you're trying to fight against. Are you following? Yes. So what you require is training. And I can see a man delivering people and I know he's not educated in that area. It's so easy to see. I can watch a man prophesying and know, yes, he's a prophet, but uneducated. He has never been to the school of the prophets. An outline.
He doesn't have the outline.
That was your introduction, as a body, as a conclusion.
He doesn't know the flow of the story, the introduction, the body, or the conclusion.
No vocabulary, no syllabus has ever been followed. Yet he's a prophet. And this is to come Bible not if an uneducated person comes in. I was talking about a degree of university.
I'm not insulting people. The Bible
Education in as far as spiritual things are concerned. It's education. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Years back, I would be invited to several churches to teach people on giving and partnering with the men of God and financing godly projects. And people, because of that, I would have a lot of invitations until I started changing a bit and introducing some bit of power here and there. And I remember, I'm not going to mention the assembly, came all the way from Blawai, and I was ministering here in Harare. And from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, up to Thursday, I was focusing on working for God, serving God, and making sure that you also make contributions, participate in whatever is happening in church, encouraging people. I never laid hands on anybody, but I kept on promising people, and I said, but if you are a witch from Friday and Saturday, please don't come. And I said this openly, not like a whisper. I said, I'm going to start with the leadership. If you are a witch, if you are a wizard, don't come. Friday and Saturday, those are very terrible days for you. Don't come. They came anyway, because if you don't, no, that was the And the other reason why they came was they never thought that things would turn upside down. From Thursday to Friday, we can't have such an abrupt shift. So they came. And when I got in, I saw them. I said, they are here. They are here. And I'm not into giving false testimonies. That day you followed, you came. Don't mention the place. He came. He left his place, his assembly, where he was the deputy chairman there. He came, he attended. He was there. And those days you used to have a little camera. He would follow me everywhere, wanting to make sure he records and he recorded that. And I stood up and I said, there's no preaching today. I told you I'll be catching witches today. And I told you, and I said, there is something that went wrong because I wanted it to be orderly. I said, I'm starting with the leadership. So we are going to give you VIP treatment. We'll start with the elders, the leadership of this church. And I asked them to clear the place. And I invited witches, all strictly from leaders, strictly. It was strictly from leaders. Oh my God. Listen, we are talking of manifestations that would last for days.
Yes. Yes.
People would have to go and get their things during manifestation. We are not talking of just people falling or whatever, coming and demonstrating. No, they would have to manifest and go home. Some left and we thought maybe they were not interested in what we didn't know it was a manifestation. They had to come home after service carrying their utensils, their objects. And the pastor was so worried. He said, so if you go back to Black, what am I going to do with these people? I no longer have a church here. I said, you never had a church, my brother. This was a den of wizards and witches. That's why there can't be any growth here. You think you are pastoring this church? No, they are pastoring on your behalf. They control the atmosphere and activities of your people. I have to pray for you. I said, when the overseer gave you this assembly, you thought it was given to you. No, I have to hand it over to you now, officially. And when little witches saw seniors being treated like that, they couldn't wait for their turn. Oh my God. So the manifestation would only end when you have proven, when you have brought proof. And we had to burn things. It was so strange. And I had to go back on Saturday and start counseling people. I said, any person that you have seen manifesting here was, and they are no longer. I had to work so hard to make people believe in those people again. It was so hard. I needed a lot of wisdom. That's why it requires to be schooled. You have to be schooled. Schooled. vamwe takutovaprotecta ipapa kuti aiwa vamwe vacho vakazvipiwa vari vana vadiki vasingazive nechine.
Then we had to protect some of them and say how they got the things when they were children and they were unaware.
Ivo varivo zvavo vakatonodi.
And yet it's the very same people that went out looking for that kind of witchcraft.
Yes.
That's it.
Whatever they do, if they put something, whether they want to destroy your life or they poison your food, whilst you're looking at your food on the table, the food will give you a certain manifestation. Something, you will see something happening. Don't play with the child of God. Don't play with the child of God. Some of you think when you are praying for food, you are praying to God. That's why most of those prayers, they don't work. You are directing prayers towards an individual that you are not going to eat. You are talking to God. It's the wrong time for you to be talking to God. You speak to the food. You give the food information. You program the food to behave in a certain way when it enters your body. I can eat food that makes you big, and I give that food a different instruction. It makes me thinner. Same food. Same food. You know, these boys, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, you know, when they said, okay, give us just the vegetables and so on. The people in Egypt, they had knowledge, or they knew there was nothing in that kind of food. And these guys, they said, okay, try us. Imagine living a life where you can eat what you want to eat. It's a superior life. I'm not saying go and eat what you want to. I'm saying you. That is if you now know how to bless the food. The blessing that rests upon food. Food. Any food you eat, within 3-4 hours, that food must have been exposed to digestion. I'm not saying it must have come out, I'm saying exposed. It is supposed to have surrendered to the process of digestion in your body. If you see the food surviving that process, overstaying in your stomach is the creation of a disease. You don't have to be eating stubborn foods. Okay, let me leave it there for now. Let me leave it. Some of you will be surprised that you will start remembering all of your dreams if you stop eating too much in the evening. You will be surprised. You'll be surprised. I've mentees that I've helped prophetically. Not by giving them scriptures, giving them the right time to eat. You don't eat and you go straight to bed. You notice that there are moments when your IQ is very, very high. You're talking of psychology here. Moments when your IQ is very high, those moments, usually there is not much food in your stomach. You are reasoning properly when you don't have too much activity happening in your stomach. Digestion makes you weak. Why is it after eating sadza you want to sleep? Some
Some of you even eat salsa before coming to the service in the morning.
You see, because of that process in your stomach, power is recalled from every area of your body. The focus is on making sure that we destroy. Let's digest what has been put here. So you become so weak. And if power is coming from every part of your body, it means even from your head. This is the moment you are wenda kunorara.
And it's at that time that you're now going to bed.
You needed less food. Ndokusina basa kwa wawenda.
Because where you're going now is the place that doesn't matter. There's no job for you to do there.
When you're going to work, you ate lighter meals, for hard labor. But when it's time for you to go to bed and rest, you dopo tutira.
That's when you overload yourself. And then you say you've got sleep paralysis. Being paralyzed by the food that you ate.
Don't underestimate the weight, even just the weight of the food that some of you people eat. Just the weight. Not talking of whether it's healthy or what, the weight. Weight. Hey! Sometimes when you eat and you're standing like this, it's okay because your intestines are used to your upright standing. Gravity is pulling it down. It's good when it's going just one direction. When you sleep, it's another angle. And you will have a lot of nerves being disturbed. You are going to rest, but there is a part of you that is not resting. The weight is on a certain angle, which it's not used to. It's too much weight. You can't then be dreaming and you remember. The main activity is down here. Why am I saying all this? I'm trying to show you some of the problems that we have. That's why we are saying we need to be taught. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Why am I teaching you people today? Why am I showing you all these things? It's because we are driven by information. Information. You tell me that you once had a demon and a man of God ministered to you and you got delivered. I'm quickly going to ask you, who is that man of God? Is that man of God well profiled? Is he a recognized deliverer? So that I know that you are properly delivered. Ngandakakuudza wani kuti Moses anenge achipaparika kati aiwa hanzi handina Mwari. Zvikanzi no.
I've told you before that Moses came in and he was all ablaze saying that God said we must go in.
We want to know you. We want to know the God that spoke to you. Even when in captivity, they were not ready to be delivered unless and until an authentic deliverer comes. They said, we want to know where are you coming from? Which God spoke to you? So it matters who delivers you. If the Son of Man sets you free, the Son of God sets you free, then you are free indeed. There is an indeed in the deliverance. The rest, appetizers.
These are just appetizers.
It has to be the Son of God setting you free. Then you are free indeed. So some of you is because you want to start off by commanding demons, commanding sicknesses, healing other people. But then look at where we started from. Commanding your emotions. You are exercising that power before you can exercise it on other people. Number two, I'm talking about, have you seen your power over things around you? What language do you speak to your body? If I tell you today that you have the capacity, not as a child of God, but as a human being, to speak to your body, and your body starts taking orders from today. Before you speak to demons, hey, you evil spirit, do this. Hey, it so so. Hey, Buddha, hey, jump.
Evil spirit, come out, do this.
Is your body under your command? You can exercise spiritual authority over your physical body first and foremost. So if you're going to be, for instance, if you're going to be losing weight or putting off weight, it's not enough what you are going to eat or what you are not going to eat. You need to add to that routine the right language. What are you saying to yourself? If you say, I don't want to be fat, you are simply stating what you don't want. We are yet to hear what you want. And why should you even say? Because this sounds crazy. Most people, they think, you see, hear me. The reason why you can speak healing into your body, deliverance into your body, health into your body. I'm talking of speech. Speaking. Okay. Somebody might say,
These things that these are not sensible things. How can you speak to your food?
Okay. Let me try to show you something. I hope my time is still okay.
Somebody's really upset.
Tanga yako chechi inopera na 10 a.m.
You can go ahead and start your own church that ends at 10 a.m.
Kufara zvangu.
I'm just kidding.
All right. What happens when you speak? When you speak as a child of God? I want you from today, I want you to be aware of the audience around you. The audience that you were not even aware of. There is a way that you can tell your body to be well, and it obeys. There's a way. For example, can I show you this?
Yes.
If you the idea, the few of you that are standing, you can sit. Okay, you can sit. The idea that you can speak, if I say to you now, speak and your body will hear. It sounds strange. It's like you're talking to yourself. Yet there is nothing wrong in talking to yourself. So there's nothing strange about that. But the issue is, how do I talk to myself and what am I supposed to say? We have talked to God about our situation, yet we can't talk to ourselves. Sometimes after talking to God, God might tell us what to tell the body. He will tell you what to say. You have said this to me. Go back to your body and say this. Moses, you have come to me because you have a Red Sea before you. Now I'm sending you back to go back to the Red Sea and stretch forth your rod. God will send you back to your problem and address it. In that case where God is not willing to come, he says, okay, I've heard you, I'm not coming. You go back. What are you carrying now from God? What do you bring back from the presence of God that you can use to address your problem? This is what you do now. Since I'm teaching you this, please never forget, you can go to any university. They will not touch on this one. Please, so open your heart. I don't ignore it. Still in university.
Don't ignore me assuming that you're going to find this information in university.
You might not get this. It's important to understand
that you understand.
Your brain is not just in your head. This is not the only location for your brain. Every part of your body has brain. There is a part that thinks in every member of your body. Your heart thinks. Remember scripture, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The liver behaves according to information. It carries information, your liver. It processes your blood according to the information given to it. You don't give information to a senseless organ. Your body cells, if cells have memory, it means your cells have brain. Now, I know the machine into kumza ngono we around sure but the moment one go to yes, my cells have a brain, it then means that we must be able to study the senses of the cell. Just like you have brain in your head, you have, they say, 5 senses. Touch, feeling, or whatever, taste and whatever, hearing. So if you say also that your cells have brain, we have to start to look into those senses. It means your cell can taste, your cell can be touched, feel a touch, your cell can hear. It means if your cell can hear, somebody needs to know how to talk. When you speak, your cells are listening. Your immune system can be activated by speech. Speech. All right. So when God gave you 30 to 40 trillions of cells, He gave you and you are that. He gave you and you are that. He knew that you needed a ministry of your own. You needed an audience. When He gave you that, he knew that you needed that such kind of a membership to talk to. And He gave you cells with a hearing ability to give them orders and instructions and teach yourselves. When you were born, they say it's like 1 trillion cells when you're a baby. And as you grow, those cells are multiplying. Everything that you have now become, you were once one cell in your mother's womb. And because you were just one cell, there was need for that cell to be broken into 2, into 3, into 4, into 5, into 6. And each cell became an organ, including the bone is a cell. Your kidneys, it's a cell that took on that form. I want you to listen to this because we're talking about healing, right? Please follow me on this one. Okay.
If you're made up your mind that you don't like school,
Still your extent of healing will be determined by your knowledge, the information that the healer carries. Unoda munhu ari informed kuti akudeclare kuti now you are free. Uchiziva kuti anoziva. Audi munhu asingazivi kuti you are free, you can go.
You don't want an ignorant person.
You
to declare
need
you
a well-informed doctor to declare you free. What? Okay. Because those unoita kuti munhu kana akuzonza akupora.
Everything that we're discussing, these are the things that are taken into account when someone is said to be healed.
Zvese zvinhu izvi zvinenge zvichienjoya the healing.
All of these things will be enjoying the healing.
There is a way that I can hand over healing to one of your cells. And I let you go, and that one cell pass on that healing to the next cell. And from that next cell to the next cell. So you lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. The recovery becomes a process. But you come to church and one of your cell gets in touch with divinity. God touches one of your cell and the process has started. You might not feel it there and there, but it has started to spread. Even the day that you got an STD, you did not feel it right away. You left the place, you were not even aware that you got it. That's what happens when you come to church. God touches you, you can't feel it sometimes, there and there. But as you go, you start to see that, I got into contact with something. Are you following me now? Now. So, me here, talking to you as an individual, I'm talking to 30 to 40 trillion individuals. That's why I'm saying, if you can demonstrate power over yourself, already you are an audience. Treat those cells as members of your body that require instruction from you. You program your cells. You give them a healing program. a recovery program. And they consider you as their pastor, their men of God, their woman of God. You can't convince me that cells have no brain. They have brain. They are given that information. Most people call DNA. In that DNA, that's where you find the genetic information of a cell. Genetic information of a cell. A cell is given information programmed by the DNA to act in a certain way and to become what you have become now. A cell was told. A cell was taught. A cell was schooled. Why is it in chapter, I'm sure in chapter 15 of the book of Exodus, from verse maybe 26, somewhere there. Have you noticed that when God refers to himself as Jehovah, our healer, I'm the Lord that healeth thee, going down, there's a story of Mara there. But God says, I'm the Lord that heals you, that healeth thee, right? He's the healer. He's Jehovah Rapha. We then called him Rapha because the healing there means Rapha. So if God is to heal you, it means there is a component of God that is medicinal. He is not healing every time. Yet when he heals you, it's a section of God that when it touches you, it opens the blind eyes. Wow. You have experienced a part of God that heals. So you say, Nabatwa na Rafa. Urukuti
touched by Rapha.
pane chinonzi Rafa.
You're saying that there's a
Chamangari
part called
chanibata.
Rapha in
So
God.
ukabatwa ne section ya Rafa,
So if the
unopora.
Rapha section touches you,
God ane section yokuti ikakubata yoyo unoita business nayo. Iri section ya Mwari.
yet there's
It's
another
section.
section in God where if he touches you with that, you will start a business with that.
Uyo abatwa na Rafa anotuka abatwa nemari anoti Mwari aite zvemari izvo anoita zvokuporesa chete. Wabatwa na Rafa.
The one who's been touched by Rapha will
Iwo
criticize
abatwa
the
na
one who's been
Rafa
touched by
chete.
the
Indabatwa
prosperity
neimwe
side.
section ya Mwari. But I
we've
want you
been
to see
touched by
something there.
different
I don't want to.
It's okay, Baba.
Oh, okay. What? There is a contradiction there. You see that God says that I will not let these diseases that I've allowed to come upon Egypt to come upon you.
I will not
I'm
put
the
none
Lord
of
that
these
healeth thee.
diseases upon thee,
As
which
it-
I will not put none of these diseases
Okay.
upon thee.
Everyone, please sit down. I want you to listen to this man. Listen to what he's saying. Listen.
I will put none of these diseases
I,
upon thee.
the Lord, will put none of these diseases. Huh? Upon who?
Upon thee,
Which diseases?
which I have brought upon the Egyptians.
Which I've brought upon. What I've brought upon the Egyptians, I will not bring it upon you. And he's saying, he's claiming that. Not to say that God makes sick. He's just saying, I've allowed it. When it comes to Egypt, I removed the hedge. And the diseases have found access. But with you, I will not remove the hedge. It's not him causing sicknesses. Yes, it's a subject for another time, for another day. But he's saying, I will not allow. So if any of you are going to become sick of the same diseases that you have seen in Egypt, God is saying, don't hold me accountable. Because I said, I will not do that. Is he saying you're never going to be sick? He's saying, if you are to be sick, don't blame me for that. But notice, none of these diseases will come upon you. But notice what he's going to say.
Which I have brought upon the Egyptians.
And why? Look at
For
it.
I am the
Look at the reason.
Lord.
Look at the reason. Look at the reason.
That healeth thee.
For I am the Lord. That what?
Healeth thee.
Okay. Wait just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. What are you saying? He's saying, notice, I will not allow any of these diseases to come upon you. And the reason being that I'm the Lord that healeth thee. Wait. Healing me from what? You said you will not allow. Any of these diseases to come upon me, the reason being that you are the Lord that healeth me. Healing me from what? I thought healing comes later. I thought it comes after infection. He's trying to show you another dimension of his healing power that comes way before sickness strikes. The Rapha in you is at work before the virus, before COVID. He's saying because the healing is present, continuous. This is what stops all of these diseases to come upon you, because you are currently experiencing not sickness, but healing. 24 hours, healing is happening in your body. That's what God is saying. So, when you say I'm sick, you are letting us know of only one activity in your body. And what you are aware of is what grows. And when you speak, you are speaking in support of it. Sometimes even when you sound like you are speaking against it, you are speaking in support of it. Would you want to know what had happened before God said what he said? Would you want to know? Would you want to know?
Yes.
They had gotten to a place in the wilderness called Shur after crossing the Red Sea. And they had gone for 3 days with no water. When they finally got to a place where there was water, the waters were bitter. And the place was called Mara, because the waters were bitter. And the people complained to Moses and to God. What do you want us to drink? The waters are here, but they are bitter. And Moses cried unto God, and God did not do anything to heal the waters. God told Moses to get a herb, a stick, a tree. He did not pray for the water. One of your greatest prophets was told to go into the forest and get a herb. Get a stick, get a tree. Put it into the water. And he needed the guidance of the Spirit to identify the right herb. He needed an inspiration from God to know what cures what. He's looking up to heavens, waiting for healing to come from. God said, no, it's on earth currently. It's on earth. You can't find it unless you are led by the Holy Ghost. Your healing is already down there. Your money is not here. I don't have your money in heaven. You want me to give you a house up here? You die. You're asking for death. Your property is situated on earth. So Moses got an instruction from God to identify the right tree. I know that was a picture of the cross. The moment you introduce the cross into any bitter situation, it experiences recovery. That's another interpretation for that. But I'm just saying, he had to be told the right tree. For us to know the right cure for cancer, the right cure for HIV, one of us needs to be inspired by the Spirit of God to know.
Norolon.
Maybe seated. Maybe seated. Maybe seated. Now, what I want to show you there is, be seated, please. Be seated. Be seated. If you want to go home, sit down. Sit down. If you want me to continue, sit down. And people could now drink the water. It was soon after that God then said, I'm your healer. What has that Mara to do with you? According to God, the healing of the water, it had nothing to do with the water. He wanted to externally demonstrate his ability that if I can cure the water and you are 70% that, you observe as God touch the waters that are bitter and they recover. It speaks to his ability to cure you. Majority of you is Mara. That's why he's saying, I am the Lord that healeth thee. He's not saying I'm the Lord that healeth the waters. So he's saying within 24 hours, if I've made the bitter water to recover, I can change your 70% in 24 hours. I can heal it. My way zangu.
Oh my God.
I'm looking at you today. Do you know that you are not the baby that was born the day that you were born? The baby that was born that day is no longer here. Nothing of that baby is still around. Nothing. Billions of cells are dying every day. And billions are coming to take over. Trillions are coming to take over. So when we start aging, what's happening? More cells are dying than cells that are being born, produced. Tona matame dagudona, takuperezeka takudi,
We're losing strength.
takushaya simba. What do? Wakumana wanoziya industry, they take advantage of marinkuzi wayo nechi.
The guys that know how to make
Wakutokunzirai, zokudi, zokushandisa.
they'll introduce
Ukazora chakat. Not many of them can teach you how to revive the cell, because the aging is coming from within. It's coming from within, and the Holy Ghost is known to revitalize our mortal bodies. Yes. yes. Everything that we are applying it on the surface. We are not dealing with the inner activity. We don't know how to keep ourselves alive. Oh. Something can be done so that you can control the mortality rate of the cells. Kuti funeral yema cells ibe less mbodi mako.
So that you have fewer funerals for the cells in your body.
There is the right language. Don't preach death in your house. Even when you see that death is happening, you speak the opposite. Are you following me on that one? Now, chinduza uti funga uti uri kubva kuchechi.
Think about this, you're coming from church,
Kwete ku college uri kubva kuchechi.
not college but church.
Wakuziva kuti ndine zvinhu zviri mandiri zvine brain.
And you're now aware that there are things within you
Kana
that
zvine
have-
brain zvine masenses.
and that brain
Kana
has
zvine
senses,
masenses zvinonzwa,
and those senses mean that they hear,
zvinoona.
they see.
You now become very, very careful of what you say. In the presence of trillions of listening cells in your body. Huh? Sit down, please. Ndakaboda kuiparidza nyaya mara itadza manangozoisiya panzira chekuti rimwe gore ndichakuudzirai
I once wanted to start on the subject.
the discerning of the body. Yakataurwa kuna vaKorinto kunzi, most of you are dying, you are dead. What you lack is discerning. You failure to discern the body. And my preachers vakafunga kuti kudiscerna miri washe, Holy Communion.
Preachers assumed that I was talking about discerning the Lord's body, the Holy
What I'm
Communion.
giving you now is the discernment of the body of Christ. And the writer is saying, most of you are dying. What you lack is this discernment. Revelation of the body is what is killing
That
people.
I'm giving you now.
You lack this discernment of the body. I'm describing your body, helping you to discern your body. He said, many of you are dying because of failure to discern the body. You spoke because you had no revelation of your body. You were not aware of who was listening.
For this cause, many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. A verse before that. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause, many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep.
Because of failure to discern what? The Lord's body. What is the Lord's body? The church. So this information that I've given you, you must transfer it to the church. When you transfer this information to the church, then you will know which cells are responsible for the healing ministry. Cells that help you recover from a sickness. They are members of the body of Christ. Everyone can heal. Everyone can cast out demons. But few can specialize. There are certain unique cells in church responsible for the healing. Ndakambodzidzisa nyaya iyoyo.
I once told you
Zvokuti
about
kana
this.
wautoinvita munhu wamwari mutomuinvita mitoziva kuti uyu i B cell.
Where when you invite a
Uyu
certain man
T
of
cell.
God, You invite them knowing what kind of cell he is.
Ari kutouya kuzoporesa sangano, munotomudedza mitoziva kuti uyu iseo rinoporesa.
He's coming to heal the congregation. You call him knowing that he's coming to heal.
Kune ma-cells anongo specialize on keeping information.
There are cells that specialize in the keeping of information.
Maprofita.
They are prophets.
Ma-ministries esaya kudiscern a board kuti saka an information indiani, it's a cell.
All of these ministry, all of these are discerning the body who has this particular gift. Can you hear me well?
Yes. Imwe cell inouya yesukobata chirwere yobva yaziva kuti chirwere chakadai takamborwara chirwere chakati makore akati nechi yobva yamhanya yobva yanodedza uye uyu akamboporesa gore rakapera kudzoka chirwere chichadzoka futi.
One cell comes to diagnose and it
maactivities ari kuitika mumuviri wedu.
These activities happening in our body
takamuka
as we are awake.
But we have never tried to sit down and listen to our bodies. Your body is communicating, is telling you what to do every day, but none of you are listening. Ndosa zvikunetsa kuzonzwa prophet, body yako chairi kukunetsa kunzwa. Listening to your body.
To hear the prophet if you can't hear your own body.
Kuna chikafu chaunodya because chiri kunakira mukanwa but isinganakire muviri.
There's food that you eat because it tastes good in your mouth, but it's not good for your body.
Haunwe mvura nekuti une nyota.
You don't drink water simply because you are thirsty.
Mukanwa ngamusarepresenta body yese.
Let not your mouth represent your entire body.
Pane time yokuti body iri kuda mvura asi mukanwa hamusi kuda zvamo.
There's a time when your body wants water,
Pane
but your
tunonaka
mouth
mukanwa
doesn't.
but body yese ichichema kuti iwe.
There are times when you put
Zvauri
something
kutumira
delicious in
kuno
your mouth.
hazviite but mukanwa muchidi muchinakirwa.
Your body is crying, but your mouth is enjoying itself.
Uchipedza kudya,
As soon as you are done eating,
teerera muviri wako kuti uri kudii.
listen to what your body is saying.
You will recover from most of these diseases. Vazhinji vasinganwe mvura havanwe bhozi vanenge vachiti handiide.
The majority who don't drink water say that they simply don't want.
Chisingade mvura ipapo mukanwa hauzi miri wake uri kuda mvura.
What doesn't want
But
water
paari kuti
says his
handiide
mouth.
ari kureva chii? Mukanwa.
But when he says, I don't want it, he means his mouth.
Kuteerera muviri wako.
Listening to your body.
What is my body telling me? Kana usati wane simba rekufosa kuti hai ndotozvida ndoti kutya chiro chandadya chandangonzwa uyu akati anongodya chero makatosiyana.
If you read,
Iwewe you are at a point where you have to listen to the language of your body, and your body also must get to a point where it starts to listen to your language. Your language. I once gave you this example. Why is it that if you are given a wrong diagnosis and the doctors mistakenly declare to you that you have cancer, and we don't see you going beyond 2 years, without proper verifications, from that day onward, you start losing weight. You start to see symptoms. Just information, wrong information, and the cells were listening. How about if the information was correct? Flip it to the other side. What if the information was good? That is why you need to get to a place where you stop confirming what they said. They told you that you amount to nothing. You die poor, and you come and you are confirming that I am poor, I am broke. My God. My God. You are being held by 30 trillion individuals. Cells in your body. You start to work towards that goal of you becoming a nobody. It is that knowledge that has kept me active. I know every cell in my body, when it touches you, it heals you. I know that. I know that. But I've lived among ignorant people, and they want me to inherit their ignorance. And they want me to talk like I don't know myself. They accuse me for saying I'm going to heaven. People run programs on radio that there's a man who says, I'm sure I'm going to heaven. A program on that. Going to heaven. They want you to come to their language, where you speak like you are not sure. It's up to God. If I die, I don't know what is going to happen.
It's you who doesn't know.
You
You are the one who doesn't know.
People are not comfortable with people that are comfortable with themselves. Your ignorance is your ignorance. My knowledge is my knowledge. Even where I'm ignorant and you are knowledgeable, you are better than me there. But I should not attack you and invite you to come and join me in my ignorant life. No. There comes a day when you have to identify and you find yourself and you know I'm a child of God. The DNA of God runs through my system. Yes, my DNA is success. Cells in my body, they multiply according to the program. Genetically, I'm genetically modified to succeed in life. Don't look at circumstances around you. Around you zvakadhakwa.
Everything around you is upside down.
Around you zvakasakara. Don't be part of zvinhu zvakasakara. Iti, I'm the cure to this.
Don't be part of the thing that it become old. Say, I'm the cure to this.
See yourself as that piece of wood that Moses took and he put it into the water. So muti uyo wako wakomberedzwa nemunyu.
So that tree is surrounded.
The waters were bitter. So you are at the center of chaos. But don't be part of that chaos. You say, I'm here to represent the well-being of the waters. I'm not part of the problem. I'm the solution to the problem. Were the waters in Jericho not bitter? They were bitter until the prophet arrived and he healed the waters. If God can heal the waters, he can heal your 70 what? Percent. You can recover in the next 7 days. Your 70% can be turned upside down. 70%. I'm saying this as a prophetic declaration that the Rapha nature of God is at work. You are recovering your lost health. God is restoring you to your former glory.
I receive.
Former is when you were still in God. No sickness can ever take your life.
I receive.
Are you listening to me? Come on, put your hands together for the Lord. You are going to pray this prayer for your own information. You have known how to talk to God. Now God is teaching you how to talk to yourself. You are going to be making healthy declarations. Yeah. As you speak, guess what? There is so much quietness. Cells are paying attention to what you're about to say. God has given you a chance today to reprogram your body. You are giving your body a different program now. As you are speaking, as you are praying, your audience is listening. I want you to send those cells as messengers. So that from this place you will no longer be 39 years old or 50 years old. It's 50 years young, 60 years young. Let those cells not hear you again calling them old. You will notice from this declaration today, everything in your body will start to support your success. Everything. Everything. It's a very strange prayer because you are used to talking to God. You will see how short this one is going to be. And it's not going to be too noisy because you are not careful, you are not sure of what you are going to. You don't want your neighbor to hear. You are not used to this one now. But sending God to do something on your behalf, you are very, very loud. But now, cells are listening. You are going to be walking around, up and down, speaking success around you. And you are commanding bitter waters to become sweet. Every direction you turn, you are commanding sweetness. 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 My life should be sweeter from today. Joy, happiness, success. I'm going to be flourishing from today. Multiplication. Increase, 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 increase. Lift your voice wherever you are. Start to speak. Someone is listening. Start to speak. Start to speak. Life, life, not death. Life, 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 life. I want to hear that voice. Your prosperity, your success has to be louder than your misery. Lift your voice and speak greatness, the blessings of God. I am blessed going out. I am blessed coming in. Doors are opened for me. Opportunities everywhere. Bitterness around me, but I'm not bitter. Sickness is around me, but I'm not sick. Death around me, but I'm not dying. Speak life. Speak life to your body. Speak life to your body. Speak life to your body. Speak success to your body. Speak victory to your body. Victory, 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 victory. Lift your voice up. Declare these things. Child of God, declare these things.
Ya tahaza manda kabaka zote rebeza jigota likabaya kibra likaza jiposa hataya rabasoto hoza pekaya makobonda jebendakaya lakizo vishori ekoba ya tahanda lakanda letekezeteke kibra lokrozo voshandika makovosa hate Rabosa, la prakaza tahaza tahaya, javata makoboko soto, yakuba kuza kuba kuya kahata, la kazavashanda, rotoko bokozo, ebraza, jatanda, rapakatiko, enzo visho hiza habakaya, makoboko zata, la kronda, epralekoya, Shabriko ezuta brazata Jamanda kata kaza takabahaya Yakibokezo Ebaza vosha mendo kebudaya Kibabaya tendekaya Lekoza finani makubukuba Ekubra zito ni makiba kahate Lakoza jimande kezete brezesho Lakizo viria mahasi ya pahato Rotoko boko za tete Ekabaya Ekadikona Ekapika kia kasatahato. Rosete mahando. Japombo te katika shika hapa kato. Rakiboko hose bekenda. Ebuguza bibi babaya.
Jesus' name. Jesus' name. Child of God, you are well. Yes, you are well.
I receive.
It is well with you now. Yes, 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 yes. So we declare the same to everyone watching us live. You may be far away from this place physically, but we are connected spiritually. The grace of God has located you. The mercies of God have found you. I pray that everyone listening to me today marks the beginning of your renewal. I pray, and I command, there is a biological revival starting today. Oh my God. You are being given a brain that you never had before. There is revival all over. Restoration all over. I minister life to you. I minister life to you. So it won't be resistance anymore from this place. It will be acceptance. Acceptance. As you walk towards, every iron gate will open. In Jesus' name. I would want us today to be generous. Let's give to God this work. Bring out your seed. Let me minister to that seed. The same way that we bless the food, we bless your money. Bring out your seed. Let me declare the blessings of God upon your seed today. If you want to give to God, if you feel like not giving, it's okay. If you feel like giving, that's God also speaking to you. Go ahead and give. Bring it out. Father, I release the grace for multiplication, that your children will never lack money in their entire life. I speak that more money comes from today. I speak to money wherever money is. I speak to money. May money be found by you. May it become so easy for you to locate money. The grace to locate riches. I bless you today, and you are blessed. And the devil can't do anything about it. So now, before you go, please, overflows. The altar is there for you. Make use of the altar. Put your seed on the altar. The auditorium here. Don't rush. Yes, when you're coming from the house of God, don't act like you are running away from the devil. Okay? Leave the house of God nicely.
Jesus came out of the grave. He actually folded his clothing, didn't he?
Yeah, escaping death, yet he had enough time to what? Yes, so please, this is how we exit the building. We go home through the altar. And when you go through the altar, you carry the altar everywhere you go. So the altars are open. Go there, put your seed on the altar, whilst we are getting a good song from the choir. Make us happy. Imbaita yakuti ma cells Masales atambe.
Make our cells dance.
Mboita kuti masales amuke kuvakafa.
Let the cells be awakened amongst those that are dead.
Give us a song. Let's be excited. Let's be joyful. The Lord is in this place. Your day has come. Your week has come. Your month has come. Enjoy your blessing now. Let's rejoice in the presence of God. Lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. Let's all rejoice. Let's be happy. Let's be excited. God is doing us good today. He's doing us good. He's doing us good. Give us a song. Give us a song.
If you see the person next to you,
relocate.
the person next to you doesn't seem to be agreeing with
You
what
are
we're
free
doing,
to move around and rejoice and sing some hymns, some songs, and let your body recover from every sickness. Yes, let your body recover from every sickness. Yes, let's rejoice.
Greater life today, Greater life is mine. Greater life today, Greater life is mine. Greater life today, Greater life is mine. Higher life today, Higher life is mine. Higher life today, Higher life is mine. Oh, we are living in higher life. Oh, we are living in higher life. Oh, we are dance for Jesus. Me put it on this way. I dominate, I dominate, I dominate territory. 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 Hallelujah, power. What you not doing? Simutawaya. Aka. Wonder. Tambira gesso. What's up? Wani mawako erapa. Mawako amunengaso. Mawako amunengadeka. Mawako amunengaso. Mawako amunengadeka. Mawako amunengaso. Uchi nazo. What's up? We are not jumping together. I dominate territory. I dominate territory. You dominate territory. You dominate territory. You dominate territory. It's full of mighty, the hand of the Lord. It's full of power, the hand of the Lord. Watch and see, the hand of the Lord.